back to the NBA, and let's talk about the Dillon Brooks and the Draymond Green beef in the NBA. So Draymond Green and Dillon Brooks, they've been going at it in the media. So Dillon Brooks started all of this. He started all of this when he was talking about Draymond Green. And this is what Dillon Brooks said on Draymond Green. I don't like Draymond at all. I just don't like Golden State. I don't like anything to do with them. Draymond talks a lot, gets away with a lot too. His game is cool with Golden State. But if you put him anywhere else, you're not going to know who Draymond is. He plays with heart, plays hard, knows the ins and outs of their defense. I guess that's why they like him over there. That was Dillon Brooks on Draymond Green. So Draymond Green, he went on his podcast and he responded to Dillon Brooks and his comments. Take a listen to Draymond Green.
If you ever wondered why the Memphis Grizzlies is not ready to compete for a championship, look no further than this idiot right here. I'm trying to figure out why they like you in Memphis. Or do they like you in Memphis? I'm not sure your teammates like you. Your level of understanding the game of basketball is at a fan level. And yet, you running around talking about a dynasty? The dynasty starts after you, not with you. And that's just a fact. I know dynasty-like players, and they aren't clowns.
That was Draymond Green responding to Dillon Brooks' recent comments on Draymond Green. So first and foremost, I want to say this when it comes to the Draymond Green versus Dillon Brooks beef. I love this. I love it. I am here for the smoke, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like this is what the NBA is missing. I ain't got no issues with Draymond Green and Dillon Brooks chirping at each other. I love it from a basketball standpoint because if we get an opportunity to see the Grizzlies and the Warriors in the playoffs, I believe that this makes the series even more entertaining from a fan's perspective because we know that Draymond Green and Dillon Brooks do not like each other. They don't like each other, and I'm okay with it. I am okay with it. I am here for the smoke. I'm here for the smoke. This is what the NBA is missing. I miss the days when Michael Jordan was beefing and couldn't stand the bad boy Pistons. I miss the days and the rivalries with LeBron James and the Boston Celtics, who had Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen. I miss the days when the Cavaliers and the Warriors competed in the NBA Finals year after year after year. I miss those rivalries between those two teams who did not like each other. But with that being said, when it comes to this beef, I got to roll with Draymond Green on this beef between him and Dillon Brooks because I need to remind Dillon Brooks of the role and who the hell Draymond Green is. When I think about Dillon Brooks, this year, statistically, he had a year where he took a step back from a statistical standpoint. He's down in points and 3-point field goal percentage and rebounds per game. He's taking a step back this year compared to what it was last year. But Dillon Brooks, he knows what it's like to be a Draymond Green because on the Memphis Grizzlies, that's exactly who he is and the role that he has on the Memphis Grizzlies basketball team. Dillon Brooks, you know good and damn well, everything is not about scoring. Everything isn't always about being the best player on a championship contender. And Draymond Green, to his credit, has done an outstanding job on the Golden State Warriors basketball team during their dynasty. This is something that I believe Dillon Brooks is disrespecting Draymond Green and not understanding the role that Draymond Green plays on that Warriors basketball team. And it's funny, again, because Dillon Brooks plays the same role on the Memphis Grizzlies. On that Grizzlies basketball team, Dillon Brooks is the enforcer in a way. He's the player that has defensive tenacity. He's a great passer as well. And he's the player that the opposing team usually doesn't like. Doesn't that sound familiar? Because that's who Draymond Green is for the Warriors. Draymond Green is the enforcer. Draymond Green is the player that opposing teams, when they face the Warriors, do not like. Draymond Green is the player who makes things uncomfortable at times on the Golden State Warriors basketball team. And yet Dillon Brooks is disrespecting Draymond like he doesn't understand Draymond's role. I think that's crazy because he plays the exact same role as Draymond Green does on the Warriors. That's the same role that Brooks plays with the Grizzlies. But here's another thing that Dillon Brooks needs to take in consideration. Draymond Green is more accomplished than you are, Dillon. Draymond Green has done a better job on playing his role with the Warriors than you have done on your role with the Grizzlies. Let's look at Draymond Green's career accomplishments and awards. Draymond Green is a 4-time NBA champion. He's a 4-time NBA All-Star. He won the NBA Defensive Player of the Year award back in 2017. He's a 4-time All-NBA first-team player, 3-time All-NBA second-team player. He led the NBA in steals in 2017. And when you ask Steph Curry, when you ask Klay Thompson, when you ask Steve Kerr, Andre Iguodala, Joe Lacob, members of the Warriors organization, when you ask them about one of the main reasons why they are contenders and been a dynasty who've won 4 NBA championships, they always give Draymond Green his credit that he definitely deserves as a part of the reason why they've won championships. They always give Draymond Green his credit for it. And honestly, I would make the argument that Draymond Green has done a better job as playing his role on the Warriors than you've done on the Memphis Grizzlies, Dillon. Like, I just think it's disrespectful for Dillon Brooks to come out and disrespect Draymond Green the way that he did. I like it, but I think it's disrespectful given the fact that he plays the exact same role on the Grizzlies that Green plays on the Warriors, but he also is forgetting about the accomplishments that Draymond Green has accomplished in his career. Not to mention, the few times when the Warriors won their championships, they went up against the Grizzlies in the NBA playoffs. Happened last year. Last year, the Grizzlies and the Warriors played against each other. I believe it was in the second round of the NBA playoffs. And the Warriors beat the Grizzlies in 6 games. Now, I know Ja Morant was out for the last few of those games in that series, but your Memphis Grizzlies have not beaten the Golden State Warriors when it matters the most, Dillon. This also is one of the reasons why I don't believe it's a rivalry between the Grizzlies and the Warriors. A rivalry is when you win, I win, and we go back and forth. Okay? That's a rivalry. For years in college football, people were talking about the Ohio State and the Michigan rivalry. And I had to remind Wolverine fans, this ain't no damn rivalry. The Buckeyes won, I believe it was like, I don't know the exact number, but it was at least like 10 or maybe even more, 10 or more games in that rivalry against the Wolverines, at that point, it's no longer a rivalry. It's not a rivalry. And I know the one year when the Warriors were in the play-in, the Grizzlies did eliminate Steph Curry and the Warriors. But that was the only time where I've seen the Grizzlies actually beat the Warriors. And that's the biggest issue I have with the Memphis Grizzlies. They haven't won anything. The way that the Grizzlies talk, they talk as if they are champions. They are not champions. I love John Morant. I love Desmond Bane. I love Dillon Brooks. I love Jaren Jackson. I love their entire basketball team. I like Jenkins as a head coach, but they have not accomplished anything near what the Golden State Warriors have accomplished. Dillon Brooks has not accomplished anything close to what Draymond Green has accomplished. Put some respect on Draymond Green's name, Dillon. Like, seriously. Like, people, this ain't no rivalry. A rivalry is a matchup between two teams who go back and forth. The Warriors are the more proven basketball team, and they are the championship basketball team who contends year in and year out for a championship. The Warriors are the standard. The Grizzlies are trying to get where the Warriors currently are. And honestly, when you look at the Memphis Grizzlies moving forward, we know the off-the-court issues that John Morant is currently dealing with. But the Grizzlies got issues of their own. Dillon Brooks don't need to be worried about Draymond Green. Friday, Brandon Clark tore his left Achilles. I think Brandon Clark is the best offensive rebounder in the NBA. He's gone for the season. Also, Steven Adams, his knee injury will be reevaluated in 4 weeks. I think Steven Adams is the one veteran in this locker room who can command the attention of these young basketball players on this Memphis Grizzlies team who are feeling themselves. And he's gone for the next 4 weeks. So Dillon Brooks needs to be worried about how the Grizzlies are going to stay in contention in the Western Conference, considering they don't have John Morant right now. Brandon Clark is gone for the season, and Steven Adams will be reevaluated in 4 weeks. You got bigger issues to worry about, Dillon Brooks, more than worrying about Draymond Green and why you don't like Draymond Green. You see yourself in Draymond Green. You play the same role he plays with the Warriors on the Grizzlies. Respect Draymond Green and put some respect on his name, bro. And I think you have tremendous upside and is going to be a great contributor for the Memphis Grizzlies moving forward. But you don't need to be disrespecting Draymond. He's a champion, and he's earned his stripes in the NBA.